owner, Rosetta Restaurant, and Bloomberg's Juan Pablo Spinetto.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. We discussed a lot of things these 2 days. We discussed about politics. We discussed about the economy, even if Latin America should be promiscuous in its international relations. But there is one thing that we didn't discuss, where the region is certainly a powerhouse. That's food. So I'm very, very glad to have here with us Elena Reygadas. She's one of the most talented and successful chefs in Latin America. Elena, thanks for joining us. Where are you?
Thank you, Juan Pablo. Thank you, everyone, for such an invitation. I'm very sad I am not properly in Panama for a personal issue, but I'm here in Rosetta, my flagship restaurant, in the bakery side, where we do all the desserts and many of the things that we sell at our bakery.
Elena, I wanted to ask you, you have a growing business, a growing and successful restaurant. How you combine this with the need to be sustainable?
Well, of course, I am aware of how the food system is nowadays one of the most environmentally critical in nowadays. So for me, as a chef, the most directly way to maintain sustainability and to approach in a direct way to sustainability is through biodiversity. I am convinced that if we conceive our menus, our dishes with as much ingredients as possible, we can really do something to keep biodiversity alive. And when I'm sorry.
Tell me what you have there. What you want to show us?
Well, when I say as much ingredients as possible, I mean, of course, local ingredients that are not so known, maybe, and sometimes not so safe because they are new ingredients for other people. And even in Mexico, that we have a very, very huge biodiversity, we have less and less approach to this kind of fruits in this case and plants. So in this table, I wanted to show you how we conceive our menu in terms of dessert. I just, put a handful of all the different ingredients that we have in Mexico and the ones that we use for our desserts. So in this table, we have, for example, mamey, which is one of the fruits that we use the most. And what I like about it is that we not only use the fruit paste, but we also use the stone. So we try to use as much as possible of all the plant itself. And what it's amazing is that not only it contributes to use everything of the plant, but most of the times we find beautiful new flavors to play with. So in this case, for example, the stone of the mamey has this almond inside that it has a beautiful bitter almond taste. So in this way, we do one of the most of our famous desserts, which is called mamey and pixle. Pixle is the stone. And, nowadays, everyone loves it. And honestly, before, everyone asked what was the pixle, because pixle usually is used to make eyelashes, like an eyelash brush kind of thing. So this is what I think we need to do as chefs, to really work on searching what we can do with all the fruit, but also understanding that nature has such a diverse system that we cannot limit ourselves to the more easy fruits in a way, or easy herbs, or the herbs that we know will be, known for everyone. For example, I also have here different types of avocado, ones that we can even serve with the on its whole, like with a skin on it. So, for example, these avocados, which are very small, they are grown less and less because, of course, people want the big one, the one that can be, more productable. But I definitely understand that while using more and more different types of avocado, then we can really keep the different types of avocado. And in these terms, if we keep our biodiversity, we can have a more resilient planet and a more resilient nature. So as a chef, that's why I believe it's so important to always open our menus in terms of biodiversity.
So let me ask you also how you work with your suppliers, right? How all these ingredients get to your table.
Well, that's a big, work. We have a close relationship with the different suppliers that we work with. We work with different suppliers all over the country. Many of them are close to Mexico City in terms of the vegetable side. So what we understand with them is the different climates they are in. So being Mexico so big, we have different climates all year round. So we work with one and different suppliers in different parts. So how we work is that they tell us what they have available, what it's on season. And when we have this information, then we decide what to do with the ingredients that are available, not the other way around. It's not us asking them to get us and to supply us certain things. It's the providers, the suppliers telling us what they have. And in terms of that information, we decide what to do. For example, with these beautiful avocados, we are serving now a dessert that it's served with these plums that are now in season, muscatel plums, which we ferment so they get salty and very tasty. And then we combine with the avocado that is creamy and that it really complements each other. But it's really how we work through the seasons and through what the providers tell us what they have available.
And what are your customers telling you? You see the same, requests for sustainable food from your own customers?
Well, honestly, nowadays it's beautiful that we have gained the trust of our customers. And while gaining their trust, we have also kind of encouraged certain curiosity towards new flavors or new combinations of ingredients. So what is beautiful is that many of our customers are customers that come many years ago, and they are open to try what's new. Like we have kind of being known of being a restaurant that it's constantly trying and searching and, kind of giving to the customers new flavors and new dishes. So there's always a demand on new things to try. And the other customers that we have that maybe are, the first time they come, honestly, they get super surprised with our different combinations. For example, the cacao that we have, this beautiful cacao from Tabasco, we serve it with the hoja santa. Hoja santa is usually served with fish or with beans in Mexico, but we serve it on the sweet side. And people get very amazed about it. And usually we have a very beautiful response because people say like, oh, I've tried hoja santa, but in a tamal or with beans, but never in the sweet side. And it really works. And of course, sometimes there's people that find it very strange or very not so palatable. But usually we have a very, very good response and more curiosity. And, that makes us super, super happy. Like for us to be chefs, what we always want is to give and to really encourage people to be curious about food. And in this sense, I do believe we can encourage biodiversity, that it's one of the most important ways to go with a sustainable life and a sustainable future.
Let me ask you also, obviously we are going through a period of rising food prices, inflation. Is this making more difficult for you to reach this goal of being sustainable, of serving sustainable food in your restaurants?
Well, what I think it's amazing is that the more local we are, the more we can fight against the inflation that is going on. So if we adapt ourselves to the seasons, to what is available, then we are more going through the natural sources that we have. So in this sense, we can kind of balance this inflation that is going on in food, of course. Because also what we try is always to get our suppliers that are suppliers in small scale, and suppliers that what is beautiful is that through the ways of growing, for example, through the milpa way, they can always get more strong crops. And on that sense, their products are more safe because one supports the other. So the more local we are, the more sustainable we are, then this inflation in the ingredients, of course, we cannot fight against that, but we can balance a little bit this inflation that it's going on so badly.
We will go back to Rosetta and to Lardo soon. Okay.
Thank you very much, Juan Pablo, and thank you for everyone in Panama.
Thanks.